Um, Now I'm forgetting the name of it because suddenly I mentally blanked on it, but it's the one, Big Bucks, No Whammies. Do you remember that one? The really
Mm,
old one. Uh, with the little
no,
whammies that would come across the screen, and
this is not
it
Price is
had
Right.
cartoon whammies.
Not
No,
not
no, no.
Joker's Wild.
That was awesome though. I have to
Okay.
give you Joker's Wild. I loved.
Okay.
Yeah, was that Wink Martindale, I think?
I have no
Yeah, that was
idea. I'm
pretty
just
awesome.
pulling things out of thin air.
Although I have to say, and this isn't a real game show,
Yeah.
but man, would I love to either be in the audience or be on it. Black Jeopardy.
Black Jeopardy. What is
If you've
that?
never seen that on SNL, it's awesome.
Oh, I think I
Watch the
did.
Tom Hanks
Yes.
episode.
Yes. I think I did.
Oh my God, it's
Was it
killer.
better than Celebrity Jeopardy?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it is kind of like that, but
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, no, I think I did see this skit. I don't remember, but it was well done. What's been your favorite?
Hilarious.
Do you have a favorite SNL skit in the last 5 years?
Um,
Maybe, or
is the
of all time?
Californians in the last 5 years?
Californians was good. Did you identify with that, or just know people like that?
I just know people like that because I didn't grow up here.
Oh, that's right.
But I mean, but the only part, of course, I think every Californian can identify with is, at this time of day, are you crazy? It'll be jammed. Whatever it is, wherever you're going, at this time of day, it'll be jammed. You know that. That's one
Yeah.
thing you know for sure.
I like what was in the last couple of years? A very smart one. It was there was a few that I really liked. One was with Amy. Tina Fey came back, and with Amy Poehler, they hosted a game show called Meet Your Second Wife, where they had like three guys on and they were like, "Here's your second wife," and then the wives are the first wives are in the audience, like, what the hell? And then like it builds to where the third person comes out, and it's like, she's like in her 20s, and then the guy's like, "Oh, that's not so bad," but I'm like, "Nope, that's not your second wife." And then they show an ultrasound. There is your second wife.
Oh,
It was a
that's
brilliant
awesome.
skit.
I'll have to watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there are always
I get that I look like Molly Shannon a lot.
You do?
I don't know if you think so, but
I don't. 15%. Nah.
okay.
That's it. That's all you don't get any
Maybe
others.
Just the hair color.
Just Molly.
I used to get Tina Fey when I would wear my
that would be
glasses
closer.
that kind of look like hers.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Have you sworn off glasses?
But I need the scar,
Are you Oh, geez. Yeah. Do you?
No, you know what's hilarious? I'm so old at this point. I need my contacts and my reading glasses.
Oh, that's double shield. That would be like wearing a hazmat suit during all of this. So that's
exactly
very.
Which I'm considering. Just
very
as a fashion
socially
statement.
conscious of you to do both things just to be extra safe. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Do you have any questions for me? Random questions, whatever.
Yeah, I saw that you used to do the VH1 segments.
Yep.
I only recently saw it, so I didn't know that about you until I just saw this little bit.
Yeah, that's right.
How did that come about? How did you get on VH1?
I was in New York, and I was working a day job with the people that put on the New York City Marathon. And one of the, we had like a charity group. We get all the runners from the city to fundraise for the kids running programs in the city. And they'd all like raise money while running for the marathon. And one person was like someone that was like a producer at VH1. And we connected, and she put me on, she just brought me in one day, and I taped I Love the 80s 3D, I Love 70s Volume 2, and I Love something else in the same day. And then she brought me back to record I Love Toys like months later, and it was just like a cool thing. It was like a free thing at the time. I was like a nobody, and I'm sure other unknown comedians were jealous of an unknown comedian like me getting like that kind of thing. But it's good. It's good footage to have. Because I discovered a platform where I can just like upload my old videos, and I can like stream them live as if they're actually happening. So I was like, you know what? Maybe people don't know that about me. So yeah, I did that. And then when I got here to E Network, they had breakdowns for like talking head stuff, and I just kind of showed them my stuff, and then I taped rich celebrity countdown, and I spoke about a few rich celebs, and then they were casting again for like Celebrity Feuds, and they're like, I have experience doing this. Here's a DVD of me doing your last show, like the rich people. they're like, okay, we'll use you again. I'm like, okay, good. So it was good. I don't know if you
Nice.
can, I don't know if it fits. You can't really have that on TV anymore. Everything is just so like rapid and like consumed and turned out. And who knows if we're ever
Yeah.
going to like have like retrospectives of the aughts or the 2010s.
Yeah.
That we've all kind of blurred it together. The technology has made it where we know what it was. We don't have to like talk about bell bottoms or Cyndi Lauper again. I think
Right.
it was
Exactly.
good for its time. Yeah, that's all I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was always good to put on for the intros of my show. When people introduce me, you don't want to have them say like, he's done clubs and colleges all over the country. Like that's kind of like, or he does he's on YouTube. Like, yeah. No, this next comedian, they say just say VH1 and E. They got that. And then other than that, then you
Yeah.
can kind of roll from there. So it's always good when you're starting
Yeah.
out.
Although
Go ahead.
it is interesting because I find that with the younger generation, because I have 3 girls who are all like in their late teens and 20s.
Yeah.
And, YouTube stars are a thing. Like you say somebody's a YouTube star and they're like, oh, that's legit for them. So you
Right.
can always be a YouTube star.
I could. I'm still trying. I have to figure out how to get a good logo and play streaming games, I guess. And I don't know how to be a star or just learn to do flips wherever I go. That might have
Yeah,
to
there
be
you
it.
go.
That might have to be it.
Maybe you could do special stunts with a mask or hazmat suit.
Yeah, I could. Well, I could just take my masks for my social distance masks and just wear those in all these kind of
Oh, yeah.
places and just like dance
Yeah.
and have people film me dancing in a mask and seeing if others will dance with me. That could
There
be,
you go.
yeah.
Party time.
I do
Party
recommend
2020 style.
Oh geez. Yeah, I do recommend though, like what I'd want to do is like something like Billy on the Street. I don't know if you've ever seen that show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's what I love that. That's the kind of thing I'd want to do. Just go up to people, just like start conversations and manufacture
I'll give you
arguments.
$100 if whatever you wear this mask.
He's like for $1.
Oh, $1. That's right.
Like,
It's $1.
and they're like, "Where's my dollar?" Or they like grab it out of his hand. Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
But that's the thing.
The things people will do for $1.
That's how I'll be a YouTube star. We'll do that. What would be your YouTube channel if you could have a YouTube channel? What would it be about? It would just be Jill's paintings.
So here's why I'm torn.
Okay.
Here's why I'm torn.
You have more than one channel.
So there's this. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because I have this whole irreverent side of my life that is like my husband's humor and my humor, but it definitely requires, it's sort of an acquired taste. Let's put it that way.
Yep.
But then there's this whole other side that's kind of serious that could be like, hey, how I learned to paint watercolors overnight, or what some of the stuff I do in my business. It's like leadership coaching and whatever.
Oh, cool.
So I could go the serious side, or I could go the really kind of wild, offbeat, funny side. I don't know. Yeah. I'm torn. What do you think?
I would like a spoof of like that I would like an over the top leadership coaching seminar, I would like you
like The Office style.
No, you like a hybrid where like you maybe take like a Shia LaBeouf, a little bit of that Shia LaBeouf, just do it, and just ramp yourself up to 12, and just see where it goes from here. And just have things on stage with you that you can push over as you're explaining yourself. Like mannequins.
I love it.
Or desks. And spreads. Yeah, like catered Subway.
There you go.
Just push it over.
Yeah. Just tip over the tray.
Yeah, put your best foot forward and don't take no for an answer, or else you're going to flip a table.
Yeah.
This helps.
I watch it.
That's my experience from watching years of wrestling. I know like what creates an effect. So that's my world.
Yeah. And I could go kind of inspirational at the beginning and then just turn into total anger and aggression.
Yeah. But the thing is, you want to retain these people. So like, if you're just going to lose your stuff and not turn into not paint yourself green and turn into the Incredible Hulk. I mean, that could be a gimmick. The She-Hulk. There has to be a She-Hulk movie coming out soon. It's about time.
Yeah.
Women can get angry too.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. Okay.
That's right. Quite often, actually.
Quite often. Nice. Cool. Is there any other things you'd like people to know? Is there things you'd like to promote, or is there a message to the masses you would like to pass along? as we wind down here, or
How serious am I allowed to get?
I don't care.
Is this funny or is
My
this
last
serious?
episode, I talked to an hour with one of my friends about Black Lives Matter. So I don't, whatever you want to talk about, it's fine with me.
Well, so this is my take on the current scene.
Okay.
And it's kind of serious, but maybe I'll try to keep it light too.
Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a live read for what I usually do in the between episodes. Never mind. I'm gonna edit this. This is where I'm gonna edit. I'm gonna edit right here. And then I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna come back. We're gonna come back and we're gonna have Jill's final thoughts on the current scene. Okay. So I don't know if I should have just described that. I don't know if I'm gonna even keep this part. We're gonna keep this all in the episode, this description. And then we're going to throw it back to Jill to take us home. So this was lighthearted Jill, and now we're going to get into serious leadership Jill. We're going to the other YouTube channel for Jay Nizzle. That's what we're going to call her.
Whoa, Jay Nizzle. And then at the end, I'm going to dump over a Subway tray of catering stuff.
You're gonna take a scissor and you're going to stab that pillow behind you. Rip it apart like you're the movie Ted. With the
wait! I've got a couple of pens. I'm just gonna throw it and whatever.
All right. So all kidding aside, I mean, I'm open to having serious conversations. We're gonna turn the funny off. We're gonna turn the current scene on. Jill, the floor is yours.
Okay, but ask questions in the middle if you want. So this is my thought. What people have their opinions about why it's all gone a little bit nutty, but I think people can have their own opinions about that. But my own opinion is that, it's the tension building up prior to the election. So fine, there's tension building up prior to the election. And it's kind of like, okay, how about this? And how about this? And how about that? But I think what's missing, just my opinion, is the return to something that we as Americans hold dear. A couple of things, actually. First of all, freedom. The return to, hey, at the bottom of all this, we have and want freedom in this country. And if we stick to that and we stick to that message, it's a lot easier for us to come together. And all of the things that are going against us being free are actually what the message is of the riots and protests and upset and crying and screaming, and all of us maybe looking a bit like 2-year-olds right now, because we're actually upset about the fact that we feel like our country has gone away from the freedom that we've fought pretty dang hard for a lot of centuries at this point. So that's one part for me.
Okay.
And another part of that is that we've also gone away from or stomped on the spiritual nature of man. And whatever that is for you, if that's, if that's Allah, if that's God, if that's whatever you want to call it, or even just yourself as a spiritual being.
Yep.
That's been ignored and trumped on kind of hard too. So I think if we can return to that, see, people have a better ability to get along with each other when they think about each other as spiritual beings or from a moral or religious perspective. Religious or spiritual, like I said, doesn't matter what religion to me.
Right.
It's just my view. And it's a lot easier for us to come to some point of agreement if we get back to that. So if we're talking about freedom and kind of the innate nature of man as a being, not an animal, then that's where we can resolve some of these problems. But I also know there's some people who don't want it to be resolved, so I get that. And that's kind of, to me, that's where the fight is. The fight is between those of us who'd like to see our freedoms be retained and continue to prosper, and those of us who don't want that. And if you boil all of this down, that's the fight. That's my view.
Nice.
There you go.
That's why I make those shirts, because I know who's making the arguments.
That's why I buy them.
No, gosh.
Yeah.
That's why we make That's why we make it, because we know that any argument has to have a third party, and they need us arguing because that's what sells. You listen to, I can see it more sometimes when things are slow in sports. In sports, you like manufacture arguments out of nothing. Like you can imagine listening to sports talk right now where They're like just
Yeah.
going through the same thing over and over again because nothing's been going on for 4 months. But
Right.
it's like you can almost like on a calendar board like peg, okay, this is the time of the year where we're going to have this argument, but then we're going to switch over to
Yeah.
this argument. So I can only imagine what it is that the argument timeline from here to November 3rd, because that's really it. Like, what
Yeah.
are the arguments that are getting us from here to when this whole thing's over? Because then it's just
Yeah.
going to start to build back up again. Like, there's no longer, it's more about not even electing the leader. It's all about like making the next leader wrong for 4 years on an increasing basis, and just the
Yeah.
idea of like not just hope, but the idea, it's almost like there's more of it invalidating the other side rather than having deeming a person a savior. It's more about stomping down um any semblance of like pragmaticism, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Exactly.
Mm,
Yeah, and the last point I'll say about that too is that I long ago decided that politics was not going to save my life.
right.
And no matter who gets elected, it kind of doesn't matter to a large degree. And I think this is why a lot of people over maybe the last couple of decades stopped voting or
Right.
reduced their voting habits, is because it became somewhat irrelevant to them. And that where things really get done is on their own community levels. You know, maybe your mayor is actually more important. I think a lot of us found that out during the COVID crisis,
Right.
but our mayors are maybe more important than, or our governors more
Right.
important,
Right.
because they actually control what happens for us day to day. So knowing people on my city council or knowing my mayor,
Yeah.
has been more impactful for me recently. But again, it's not that I'm expecting my mayor to save anything either. Uh, guess what? I guess we have to do it for ourselves. And so I'm very lucky. I live in a great neighborhood. I have awesome neighbors who are willing to have a neighborhood watch and care about the kids around here
Yeah.
and want things to be sane and safe. And I think that's how things start and improve in America. And I think it's how it's always been. And we just have to go back to that. Social media isn't going to save us. There isn't any politician who's going to save us either.
Yes, two things. One, I found one of the funniest Babylon Bee headlines I saw was the story said like experts say yelling at each other on social media will resolve everything any day now.
Any minute.
But then the
That's
other
right.
thing that was, I guess, a little more serious was that it's not. I forgot where I heard it. Someone said we elect officials thinking they're going to solve our problems when they're the very people that created the problems for us in the first place.
Amen to that. Yeah.
Which is why I'm looking forward to my next political run, and I look forward to causing many more problems for my fellow man, or do the opposite.
That's right. All right, Evan, stir it up. Stir it up.
Yes. So yes, that was very good. We maintained a balance there.
Yeah.
Cool. Well said. Very
Thanks.
smart. Anything else? Should people try to find you on Facebook or anywhere, or your businesses, or should they leave you alone?
Leave me the hell alone. No, I'm
Okay,
just
fair
kidding.
enough. No,
I'm mostly kidding. I'm kind of kidding. I don't know.
It's
You
okay.
know, it's funny. I try to keep my personal life and my business life kind of separate, I guess
Good.
is how I would describe
That's
it.
fine. That's what happens when I
Yeah.
interview private. Obviously I'm interviewing sometimes public figures, but I interview just like regular people, or like people are not like, check out me filming myself and selfieing myself so I can get some more likes and follows and all that. So, it's whatever. I mean, I have people, even like some of my best friends are like, I'm not coming on the podcast. I'm like, but I still might call them and be like, you know what, just come on for 2 minutes and be like, so what do you want to talk about? And just say nothing. And then that'll be the whole interview. Like just for the sake of breaking the goal line. Cause I have to interview the Libertarian VP and POTUS candidates later this month.
Nice.
And if
Nice.
they don't accept my Facebook request, I have to keep it where a Facebook friend must be in every episode. So like before the March election, I interviewed a judge who was not yet my Facebook friend. So I had to call a college student in Pennsylvania to talk with me for 10 minutes to keep the rule alive. So
I like it. I like that you have a rule that you just made that has
that
nothing
only
to do
I
with
care
anything.
about. Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to stick to that. I get that.
Yeah, like a lot of like sometimes you have like ethical decisions where it's like no one cares about this but you. Like I don't care. It matters to me. They must
Yes.
know. So yeah.
I can relate to that because so I'm going to show you one of those right now.
Yes.
Which is that if in my cup the pens must be in rainbow order.
Ooh.
It's a rule. And if you use one of my pens, God help you, because if you don't put it back in rainbow order,
Damn.
that's what happens.
So that means like Roy G. Biv?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Good thing your kids went to school so that they know the order of the spectrum.
That's right. Exactly.
Good.
Otherwise, hell to pay in my household.
Nice. Cool. Well, I mean, I have no other questions. You said your piece. It's on par with Springer's final thoughts. So I was very appreciative of that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Let me know when the shirt comes. Take another photo and it'll be dope.
I will. And my husband actually asked me for it. So you may get in this one, you may get a different model, which might be my husband.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I can cut one but next to the other and I can make a little like family pairing.
Like a montage. All right. That sounds good.
Yeah. Montage.
I do have one final question for you.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite quote?
Oh, shoot.
It could be short, it could be short.
The only quote of note that I've ever incorporated in my life was a Bon Jovi lyric from like a 1995 album that is pretty much far away from how I view life these days. So,
okay.
I don't know what quotes are.
I didn't say you have to live by it. I just said it was your favorite quote.
No, I think there's the one. What is it? The one. I don't know if it was actually Marianne Williamson who said it or if it was Nelson Mandela.
The one about the darkness and the light. Like you're most afraid of being powerful.
Yeah,
that one.
Yeah. Let me try it. Let's Google that right now. Nelson Mandela quote. Okay, let's see. Deepest fear. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not that you're inadequate, it's that you're powerful or something like that.
Let's find it. Our deepest fear is not that we are weak. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So that's a good one.
There you go. That is an awesome one.
Okay, one more. Then there's one more I think that I've liked. But I mean, none of them I have a visceral reaction to. But I mean, I just know there's always good ones to kind of like break out. Yes, this one. Let's see if it shows up right here. Not sure who said it. Is it William Gibson maybe? Before you diagnose yourself with depression or low self-esteem, first make sure that you are not, in fact, just surrounded by assholes.
Yeah, it's a classic. I've actually posted that one on my Facebook page. So
yeah.
I'm with you on that one.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. So we got our quotes. I think that makes it. We made it to the end. You did very well.
Okay, I'm going to give you my quote though.
Yes. That's right. That's why you asked me that question in the first place. Damn it. No, I'm kidding.
Well, not the only reason. I really did want to know.
Oh, good. Okay.
But mine is Victor Hugo. No army can stop an idea whose time has come.
Yes. No, that's right. That's why. That's when I said the V for Vendetta thing.
Yeah.
That was oh crap. We're just gonna. What did he say in the movie? Obviously there's people shouldn't be afraid of their government. Government should be afraid of their people. Not so much that one. Behind this mask, there is more than just flesh. Behind this mask, there is an idea, and ideas are bulletproof. Ooh,
there you go. Nice.
Okay, so very good.
Boom.
Good. All right, Jill, I'm a fan. I'm gonna subscribe to your YouTube channels when you create them. If you need me to
now I have a great idea for it.
Yeah, and if you need me ever to go on stage with you, so you can push me, that's fine. I don't mind being just being some guy in the background that you just push over I'm the Kenny of South Park, that you just kind of
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, push me back every time. Yeah.
I feel like it's gonna almost be like this Gallagher thing. You need watermelons and sledgehammers too.
Yeah, just throw stuff at me when you're frustrated on stage and need to dramatize something. That's fine.
It's awesome. I love it.
Cool. All right. You are good to go. So thanks for coming on Socially Awkward.
Thanks, Evan.